Hey y'all, welcome back to Tales from the Buffalo Trace. John here. How y'all doing today? Today I figure we're going to go into a little bit of background of what I'm doing here, and then we'll have a talk today. I'm going to talk about how I got into reenacting, what brought me into it, what I like about it. And I'd love to hear in the comments below what y'all think about it, and what y'all's feelings on the videos and what my plans are. And if you'd like to see other videos on certain things or have some questions you'd like to, please ask. So, let's see. Oh, the other thing is, hey, like and subscribe to the video. It'll help me out and get some views on here. And maybe other people find it and find something else they like. Thank y'all so much. So, name's John Springfield. Starting in reenacting. Well, I have to go back to as a little kid. Loved playing Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett. Were the TV shows I loved, and Roy Rogers and things. But like I said, Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone were some of my favorites. There will be some noise in the background because my daughter's running around the house. She's got a new puppy and my mom's doing things too, so can't expect a lot of quietness around here, I guess. So, like I said though, growing up with that, and I can remember one of my favorite toys ever was a cap gun. It was a musket. And the caps caused it to shoot these little cork balls. So I was actually able to shoot too. Had a ramrod, everything on it. Favorite toy. Had it for years. Growing up. That was back in the late 60s, early 70s right there. Of course, Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone are on TV. Watching all the old shows on Disney. They had a bunch of them. Thanksgiving would roll around and we'd see all the old time movies on there and everything. Even, horses, knights, swords. Love that stuff too. So, fast forward to 77, the bicentennial rolled around. And oh my gosh, they came to school and did a demonstration. Clark's Volunteers. I forgot to mention, I live in Indiana, southern Indiana, where George Rogers Clark Memorial's at. So, of course, we have the rendezvous there, and they had it for a couple years now, and Rogers Volunteers was a local group at that time. And they dressed in the buckskins and everything. They weren't truly into reenacting because nobody knew everything back in the 70s. Didn't have the internet like we do today and all the research gone into it since then. So back to what I was saying though. So the bicentennial rolls around, and of course we did a school play. I got to be a Minuteman. Loved it. Had my knickers, my shirt, my little hat, and my cap gun. So later that year I'm out of school playing outside and riding my horse around. You'd have seen me running around through the countryside wearing knickers and little fake turnbuckle shoes and my hat and my shirt, carrying my rifle, riding my pony all over the place. So I spent a couple summers that way. Then we ended up moving to town. Ended up 3 blocks from the George Rogers Clark Memorial. So every extra minute I got bored, I just walk over to the memorial, go through. I bet I watched that video on there a million times. They didn't have as much then. They just had the round octagonal with the columns memorial at that time. And they just had the pictures up, all the murals inside, the big statue of George Rogers Clark. And they had these little earphones you put on and walked around, you could hear the thing. And I got to know the head ranger really well. He's a great guy. He talked about stuff all the time to me and helped me get into it. And then every year, well, here I was living like 2 blocks from the memorial. And right on the memorial grounds is where they originally held the rendezvous. It's moved down at the end of the memorial grounds across the street. They now have the French Commons down there. Great place. It's Spirit of Vincennes Rendezvous. It's held every Labor Day. It's good sized. A lot of vendors, a lot of people coming through. Battle reenactments. And you got the memorial over there. You got the visitor center. They've got a movie in there. It's good to watch. So, did that. Then they built the visitor center that's next to the memorial. And they got the movie in there. They got some mannequins in there with the Indians and stuff. It's like I got to see real stuff then. And then seeing everybody at the rendezvous, everybody in period. It was awesome. Loved doing that for the longest time. Then I got away from it, grew up, joined the military, ended up overseas. And I decided I was going to get back into reenacting. They don't do a lot of French and Indian War, or Revolutionary War, War of 1812 over there because I was in Germany. But they do a lot of medieval reenactments. So I got into that. I was like 30 years old at the time. Started jousting, sword fighting in armor anything and everything I could do to it. Went to all the Renaissance fairs, the medieval markets, which are great over there because they got all these people coming in making all this handmade armor and everything. So it was great. Learned to do all that stuff. And then when I came back to the States, one day I'm out driving around, I see him down at the French House, which is right down from the William Henry Harrison House, who was one of the presidents of the United States. His estate was called Graceland. We'll be doing a visit there too because I really want to focus on the John Small rifle. That's a state rifle for Indiana. Unlike most states, Indiana has one weapon, which is a state gun, which is a John Small rifle, which is housed at the Graceland. Grouseland. I'm so sorry I said that. So, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I saw the guys at the French House down there, and a lot of native reenactors there, and they were all in garb around there and at the French House doing a demonstration. Went and talked to them, ended up spending the day there. Had a great time, went out to dinner with them afterwards, and next thing you know, I'm back into reenacting. So I'm at the house sewing like crazy, doing leather work, put everything together. And then after a while, real life got in the way and I had to get out of it. So I got out, sold a bunch of stuff off because of real life and going. Now I'm getting back into it. I love it. It's a great way of life, great people, family values. Most anybody there you go to, the rendezvous's got great values, good morals, and you all have a great time. Everybody's welcoming. They're not standoffish. They welcome you right back into the fold. And that's what I love about it. So that's what I'll be doing here. I'll be visiting local sites of history, a little woods walk here and there, have some friends come over. I'll do some interviews with who I can. Got a couple friends that already said they want to be interviewed, or willing to be interviewed at least. But that's what I plan on doing. So you guys tell me what you think of this and let me know. So that was how I got into reenacting. I do have a page on, well, I've got a profile on Facebook that I'm going to turn into a page here shortly. Tales of the Buffalo Trace, along with the website here on YouTube. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be videoing everything I go. There's a trade fair coming up later this month that we'll be going to over at Linton, Indiana. Small one, but I've heard it's a very good one. They have a lot of people there, so that'll be a video coming up here in a couple weeks. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day and come on back, like and subscribe.